Okay, so you guys already did figuring out the speed of this particular cart by going and using the distance and the time relative to the meter stick and the time that you got for it to run the meter stick. Now we're going to use a different technique. This particular different technique, what we're going to do is we're going to take this ticker, and this particular ticker is going to make a mark every 1/60th of a second. Okay, it's actually, by the way, hooked to what electricity is. We're going to find out later that the electricity is also generated at that 1/60th a second, and that's why this guy goes and ticker tapes 1/60th a second. That means the distance between each dot, okay, that particular distance is within that 1/60th of a second. So that's what we're going to do there. So what are we going to do? This guy, when we turn it on, and you'll hear it, is now going to be making that little boom, 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 boom. We have this carbon paper. You guys have no clue what carbon paper is, but carbon paper has carbon on the bottom side, so when it gets hit, it leaves a mark on a piece of paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach the paper to the back of the cart. We're going to send the cart off, and as this guy goes, it's going to be making a mark every 60th of a second. And then we'll figure out exactly how we can get the speed, how we can find the distance and the time with these things. All right, folks, so here we are. We now have the ticker tape, which is here, and it's all lined up with the cart. And you notice the tape is connected by tape onto the cart itself. So I'm going to turn this guy on, then I'm going to go and flip it to on, and then we are going to go and see the marks that it makes. So first thing I've got to do is I've got to turn it on here, and you'll hear the tip, 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 tip of the ticker tape, and then we'll start it. So. Okay, folks, here's the lab data that we have. You notice that we have on here the time equals 0 seconds there, and then 10 marks to 1, 10 marks to 2, 10 marks to 3, 10 marks to 4. Now you might ask yourself, why don't we start at the very beginning and just take it from there? Well, that's an important part of this lab. Take a look at the dots at the beginning in this section here, and then take a look at the dots as they continue on. What do you think it means when you have those dots at the beginning that are clustered close together, and then they get farther apart until they're equidistant from each other? We want to only use the central section of this. So I'm going to go through and erase these guys real quick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to enlarge this so we have just that section. Okay, folks, so now we realize that we just want the marks that are equidistant from one another. And what we need to do is we need to go and now figure out that distance. How are we going to do that? Well, we're just going to read the dot and the ruler mark, which is above it. Now, here's a little technique that you can use that can help you. What you do is you just make a little line from there to there, hold it so it's straight. Now I can go and I can circle it with a cutting instrument, and I can move it over, and I can get it to line up exactly where I want, which is right there. And you notice that it's 4.1 centimeters. I can now take this line and simply move it to any of the other spots that I wish to get my 4 points. So you're going to do that. You're going to put it onto the data table and do the work there.